So this is number 10 from 1978. Yay. Yeah, it's not that long ago, you know. That's when, I'm sure, many of your parents were born, or that's after I was born. You know, I was well alive. So I was able to speak by then. Now let's look at this one, guys. So here, given the curve right over here, find the general expression for the slope of the curve. Basically, they are looking for dy over dx. Would you agree? That's the first one. All right, so let's look at it, guys. So we get, yeah. So first we get 2x. Second here, what do we get, guys? Negative y plus, no, or can I just call it negative or minus x dy over dx? How about that, guys? You good? So we just apply the product rule here. For the last component, we have plus 2y dy over dx equals to 0. Then here, what I'll be doing is I'll be factoring out dy over dx. So we get dy over dx is equal to negative x plus 2y. And moving the other two terms over to the other side, so we get negative 2x plus y. How about that, guys? You good? And when I divide by the expression within the parentheses, so what we end up getting? dy over dx is equal to negative 2x plus y over that negative x plus 2y. How about that, guys? You good? So we got that done. Now, how about part B? Find the coordinates. That means they want you to find the x and y values of the points on the graph where the tangents are vertical. Tangents are vertical. So that means what? What do you realize about the slopes, guys? Tangents are vertical. So what am I looking for? Anybody? Yeah? What am I looking for here? The fact that tangent is vertical. Yeah. X equal to 0, I mean, not quite x, but something else has to be equal to 0. What? Yes, ma'am.
The denominator.
Thank you, the denominator. Because when you have a fraction where the denominator is equal to 0, we usually call that what? The fraction is not defined, isn't it? How does that vertical concept comes in? As the xy approaches that particular value, the value of the slope, in fact, approaches infinity, whether it be positive or negative. When the slope is infinity, what are you guys realizing? The line becomes more vertical. Is that clear, guys? So the fact that I'm looking for vertical tangent, that means setting negative x plus 2y equal to 0. So here what you end up getting is this. This implies that x equals 2y. Hey, they're looking for coordinates. Is that clear, guys? Meaning x value and y value. But that doesn't give me the x value and y value. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? They give me the relationship. Then how can I actually figure out the value of x and y? Any suggestions here, guys? How can I figure out the x and y values? Because I followed what the question was asking for, but I didn't find the coordinates. I only find the relationship between x and y. Wait a minute. You see how this gives you the relationship between x and y? This is the relationship between x and y, given that it was vertical. Since I have two variables, I've been needing two equations to solve them. And here it goes, that's the other one. Is that clear, guys? I'll be placing 2y in place of x's, and then let's see what we end up getting. You good? So here it goes. I'm gonna combine this one and this one put together. So we get 4y squared for the first one, minus 2y squared, would you agree? And then plus, what is that? Y squared is equal to 9. You guys with me so far? Right? Then here, what do we end up getting, guys? We get 3y squared is equal to 9, which gives us y squared is equal to 3. And I was able to calculate y is equal to plus or minus rad 3 here. Would you agree? But I'm going to go back to the question. Was there any restriction on y's? I'm looking at it, find the coordinates. Okay, there's nothing about y can be positive or negative, so I'm accepting both. And then when I look at the original expression, there's no restrictions on that either. So it seems like I'm going to have 2 points where I will have the vertical tangent line. So when y equals, when y equals rad 3, what would be my x value? You know what? I'll be able to figure out x value from here. Would you agree? original equation. Or I could have found it over here as well. Because when y equals 3 over 2, when y equals radical 3, we get to realize that x, that's the value which satisfies this equation and the other equation. And this is much simpler. So I'll be using this one to figure out the x value. How about that, guys? You good? So what am I end up getting, guys? When y equals radical 3, x has to be equal to double that. So 2 rad 3. So my first point will be 2 rad 3, comma rad 3. How about that, guys? And when y equals negative rad 3, just like what it says over there, x will be negation of 2 rad 3. So my second point is this. So that becomes my 2 points with coordinates where the tangent lines are vertical. How about that, guys? Is it okay? So that's what I'm looking at. Now the third question here at that particular point when 0, 3, find the rate of change. Oh, wait a minute. Rate of change, as I shared with you before, refers to taking the derivative usually, right? So, but when I take the derivative, first derivative, the derivative is what? Derivative or rate of change of the original function, f. But in this question, what are they referring to? Find the rate of change in the slope. So slope is synonymous to what? Finding the first derivative of the original function, isn't it? So it's almost like I want you to find the derivative of the derivative, a derivative of the first derivative. That's basically what they're saying. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to find the second derivative and then plug in those necessary information. So we already found the first derivative, wasn't it? It was that. So what I want to do is I want you to find the derivative of the first derivative. That's how we can figure out the rate of change. And that means what? I want you to find the derivative of, what was the expression? Negative 2x plus y, and then it was negative x plus 2y. Let me just check. All right. Of course, I'll be using the quotient rule to figure out the values here. So what am I end up getting, guys? Take the derivative of the top, so we get negative 2 plus derivative of y becomes, can I just use y prime because I don't want to write a lot? And then multiply that by the bottom, negative x plus 2y minus first one as it is, negative 2x plus y, and then take the derivative of the bottom, so we get minus 1 plus 2y prime. Oops. And then divide the whole thing by this one squared. And as you guys can tell, we'll be needing 3 pieces of information, x, y. We already have that here. And then I'll be needing the value of y primes, which I can actually get from here. So what is y prime at the point 0, 3? So our x value will be equal to 0, and y value is 3, so we get 3 over 6. We get 1/2. How about that, guys? Would you agree? Then let's plug in everything and then see what we end up getting. So negative 2, y prime is plus 1/2. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 3, so we get 6 minus, here x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3, so we get 3 here for the first one, and minus 1 plus 2 times, what was that? 1/2. Can one of you guys go back and just, thank you. Thanks. In the denominator, 0 and then y value was equal to 3, so we get 6 squared. How about that, guys? Are we all good so far? Right? And all we have, and then for the AP question, you can just leave it alone in this way. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to simplify them. You will get the full credit as long as the expression is correct. Is that clear, guys? Now, but if you want to simplify them into one particular value, what would you end up getting? Let's try to calculate that. here. So this one becomes what? Negative 3 over 2, would you agree? Times by 6. And then that's 1. Oh, 1, that disappears. And that was what? 6 squared. So what I can do is one of the 6's can cancel away. Would you agree? So we get negative 3 over 12, which is negative 1/4. So that seems to be our final answer. How about that, guys? So if you write down the answers in this way, that's great. And you can write down the answers in this way as well. Is that clear, guys? But if you make a simplification mistake, then you will lose point. All right? So when do you have to simplify them? If the question was multiple choice, then you have to, manipulate your answer to fit the one of the multiple choices. Then. Is that clear, guys? Right? So with that, I'll be done for today, and rest of them you guys gonna work on the other 2 questions, number 11 and number 12. All right?